Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be making a wreath out of a dollar store garland. Here is the garland that I bought at the Dollar Tree. It's a wire garland, and we're just going to remove the tag, and I'm going to start snipping some pieces off. You can make them however long that you want. I made them about 4 inches long, and I kind of just eyeballed it, but like I said, depending on how fluffy you want your wreath, you can cut them however long that you want. I'm gonna make a circle first, and that's gonna be the base shape for my wreath, and then I'm just going to twist the wires together just to close that circle up. And now that we have that closed, I'm going to just go ahead and start snipping the little pieces off. And you can't really see in the camera what I'm doing. I apologize. I thought I was in the camera shot, so you can kind of see what I'm doing. Like I said, I was just eyeballing it. I didn't use a ruler or anything. You are more than welcome to use a ruler if you want precise measurements, but I just kind of eyeballed it based on how fluffy I wanted my wreath. But you can make them in all different sizes. And this project is a bit messy, so you might want to do it on an area where it's easy to clean. Now that I have all my pieces cut, I am going to go ahead and wrap the little pieces around my wreath. And right now I'm just focusing on wrapping the pieces on the wreath. I'm not too worried about how the little garland pieces fall. I place them about 1.5 inches apart, but depending on how full you want your wreath, you can kind of adjust it to your liking. But I found that this was perfectly fine for me. I've also made another wreath before I did this video, and I made the pieces about 2 inches long because it was a smaller wreath, and I didn't want it as fluffy, and it looks just as good. So if you want to use less of your garland, then you can cut them shorter and it looks just as good. And I will show you a picture of that wreath at the end of the video so you can kind of see the difference between the two. And you guys, this honestly does not take long at all. So now that I have all the pieces on my wreath, I'm gonna take another piece of garland and cut another circle the same shape, and I'm going to put that behind this wreath just to kind of reinforce the back of the wreath, because it's kind of because we're making it and not putting like wood or anything behind it, it's kind of flimsy. But if you put just another circle, if you make another circle the same size and put it behind the wreath, it will make it a little less flimsy. You can even put multiple circles like I'm doing right now. I'm just going to put one, but you can put multiple back there just to kind of make it a little less flimsy. Depending on where you're hanging it, you may want a more sturdy wreath. You could also go to the craft store and get maybe one of those embroidery hoops and put it behind your wreath. I just wanted to simply keep this as cheap as possible because I do like to get rid of some of my decorations every year just because we don't have a lot of storage space. So I try to keep it as cheap as possible so that I don't have to keep every single Christmas decoration that we have. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just tie pieces of garland around the two circles just so that they will stay and that everything stays in place and is sturdy. And again, I'm not measuring those pieces, I'm just cutting random pieces and placing them. And as you can see, it's a lot more sturdy. And if you feel like you want your wreath a little fluffier, you can just continue to add little pieces of the wire garland. I am going for a farmhouse look, so I am going to actually spray my garland or spray my wreath with artificial snow. And so I'm just gonna reuse this box that had another wreath in it, and I'm gonna go ahead and spray paint the snow on. I just got this from my local grocery store, but you can get this from anywhere, a craft store, Hobby Lobby, Joann's, Michael's. And you're going to want to spray more than you think you want on there because snow tends to fall off over time. And then once that's done, I did go ahead and I put a bow on top. I got this ribbon from the Dollar Tree as well. So this makes this about a $2.50 project, I would say, because I used about a garland and a half, and I used the Dollar Tree ribbon. So for $2.50 you can have a very nice, very elegant looking and very farmhouse looking wreath. And here is the finished product. And like I said, I would show you guys the first one that I made with the shorter garland pieces. And I love how this one turned out as well. So really is up to you. Either one looks great to me. And this is the second option for a Dollar Tree wreath. These are about $1. They usually have a bunch of these left over at the Dollar Tree. It's something that you probably could find very easily. So this is an already pre-made wreath, and these are for my girls' room, so I didn't need it to be too fancy. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take everything off of the wreath, just so I can get it just a plain circle, as you can see here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a bow on top of it. And I got this ribbon from the Dollar Tree as well. And I'm just going to tie a ribbon to it, and I am going to spray artificial snow on it, and that is going to be it for this wreath. Very simple, very easy, and this costs about $2 as well, the wreath plus the ribbon. So if you didn't want to build your wreath from scratch, you could just get one of these and spray it with the artificial snow, and it would look just as good. You could also tie the garland pieces around this wreath, because this is a very sturdy wreath, and if you wanted to, instead of having kind of a flimsy wreath as I had, you could tie the garland, the wire garland pieces around one of these wreaths, and it would give about the same effect. And we're just going to go ahead and spray the artificial snow. And I do apologize, I do not have any footage of me tying the bows, but there's tons of tutorials on how to make a bow on YouTube. But I just didn't get it in the camera shot, so I apologize, you guys. And here is the final product of that wreath. And like I said, once you put some snow on it, it looks just as cute. And it's just for my girls' room, so I didn't need anything fancy. I hope you loved this tutorial. If you have any questions, make sure you comment down below. If you have not already, make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit the bell for notifications for every time I do a new video. Thank you so much for watching.